What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a bit about the state of play that we got today. I know on the main channel Podcast Now, I did videos on Stellar Blade and Silent Hill 2 remakes specifically. So what I wanted to do in this video is kind of go over, I actually wrote myself, a little guide, 5 different games, that I want to briefly talk about, or 5 different things I want to talk about. Overall, I like the show. In case you're wondering, in case you didn't know, I really did enjoy it. It had its up and down moments for sure. Not every game was for me. Something like Silent Hill 2 did definitely leave a lot to be desired. But overall, I definitely think it was a good show. Maybe one of the better state of plays that they did. Just in terms of the variety, we got a couple surprises. A lot of it we knew ahead of time thanks to leaks and stuff. And I mean, that's not the state of play's fault, right? So overall, I think they did a pretty darn good job. So let's go over just some things that caught my eye. So I want to start actually with Until Dawn. Look, is it necessary to do something like this? Maybe not, but it looked really good. Now, they didn't really specify, and I haven't looked to see if there was a press release with it. It looks to me like it's a mixture of a remaster remake. I think it's a remaster, but if you told me they remade the game, even though, it's only 9 years old, in fact, it's not even 9 years old yet, if you told me that, I'd kind of believe you because the trailer, well, look, it's a great game. I love the game to death. We've talked about that quite often, even on this channel. We talk about Until Dawn. I'm really happy that it's back. Now, I would like a second game. I would like more games like it. Again, I don't know if we need this, but the game looked really, really good as a trailer. Now, was that a full, representation of what the game's going to look like? Maybe not, but honestly, I kind of think it will because the game, when they showed the faces, right? And we only got a couple of glimpses, even Hayden Panettiere, right? Saw a couple of them. They looked really good when we saw them. So, will I get it? Man, it's going to depend on the price. I feel like it's going to be a full price thing. I don't think there'd be an upgrade path for this game either because the game's 9 years old. You know what I mean? I don't know if they would do, and I don't think they would do, hey, if you own the game on PS4 9 years ago, you can upgrade for free. You can upgrade for $10. I think this is going to just be a game, a full price game that you'd have to get. But it did look really good. I think the conversation around it is going to be, the bigger, more controversial thing, right? As we get closer to the game. Next up, Death Stranding 2. Now, Death Stranding 1, okay, is an odd game. It's a very odd game. Now, I didn't beat it. I've never, with my own 2 hands, with a controller, beaten it. Now, I did watch it, and I saw the ending, and I tried to understand it when the game came out, and I think I kind of got it in terms of just watching so many different videos explaining it. Now, I've forgotten all of that because the game released many, many years ago. Maybe not that many, but I've forgotten, okay, a lot about this game. And going into the second one, I'm in. I want to play through Death Stranding 1 from beginning to end before this game comes out. Luckily, we have a year plus. So, we get a year, 2025, that's fine. Was it up in the air, 2024? I do believe I said my prediction would be, if they were going to do it, it'd be November, December of this upcoming year, or it'd be a 2025 game. So 2025, I think it's probably still a while off. So I wouldn't be shocked if the game was October or November 2025. So, almost 2 years away. I think that's what's going to happen. If it's closer than that, that's fine. And it looked really good. Again, in terms of the lore and stuff like that, there's not much I can say because really this is a Hideo Kojima game. I have no idea what was going on in that trailer. I got to be real. It looked very good. In a lot of the conversational scenes that they had, if you told me it was the movie, instead of the game, I probably would have believed you. It looked so good. And then we did get some gameplay, and we, kind of some new looks at, how you're going to be moving around. I'm going to try. I mean, that's really all I can say. It didn't get me enough to go through from beginning to end, but that's what these games are. These games, I don't know if acquired taste would be, the right phrase, but I feel like you're either into them or you're not. And there's nothing really wrong with not being in. It's the same thing, and I've said it before, Alan Wake. I'm a big Alan Wake guy. I get it. I get it if you're not into it. Alan Wake is a game that you're either into or you're not into. Kingdom Hearts, any of these kind of weird, Kingdom Hearts maybe is the least weird of that group, but I don't know the story. If you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you know what I mean. Death Stranding is one of those though, right? Where it's if you're in, you're in. If you're not in, you're not looked down upon. It's fine, you know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to put it in this video. It looked outstanding. I do want to play it. I want to play the first one first, I guess, but I do plan on getting this day one. But to pretend like I have any idea what was happening, I can't because I have no idea. Okay, next up is Judas. So, man, they showed quite a bit. Now, this is another one that I can't really get too deep into. Like, okay, Ken Levine obviously tells some pretty complex stories. There's a lot of different stuff going on in his games. When you think of the first BioShock, remember, he didn't do the second one. So BioShock and BioShock Infinite, they are deep. They're beyond just like, surface level or just like the eye test of the gameplay. Now, what's interesting, I would say, this trailer for Judas was more about getting you into the gameplay of this world, what exactly you're going to be doing. Let's see some enemy variation, right? Let's see the combat, which is a lot of BioShock, right? Very, very much BioShock inspired, and it looks very good. Again, I guess what excites me about it is it's that, and I think it looks really cool and it reminds me of BioShock. And then there's the Ken Levine stuff that we've gotten hints of, in the more conversational parts of the trailer, the more dialogue-heavy parts, but you're not going to get it all until the game comes out, right? So a big reason that BioShock and BioShock Infinite are special to me is more of that stuff. And I mean, the gameplay I think is actually pretty darn good too, especially Infinite, but it's more about what he brings to the table with the story and twists and characters and setting and politics and just all of this, the world building he does. So that I do believe is going to be in Judas, and I'm just so excited. No date, no year. Didn't really expect that. In fact, I believe that was my prediction, right? I think I said it would be nice, but I'm not expecting that because that would just seem kind of... I didn't think they were going to do it, okay? And they didn't. So probably a 2025 game. No biggie. That's fine. I can wait a little bit longer. Next up, Rise of the Ronin. So this might have been, I said it live, because, I co-streamed this event, and I said when I was watching it, this was easily the best, kind of look at it. Now, I mean, that's obvious, right? Because it was the longest look we've ever had at this game. But I guess what I mean is, I really think they put together a really good package. You know what I mean? I think even Stellar Blade was like that. Death Stranding was just a really long trailer, and it kind of set some stuff up. But, when you look at Rise of the Ronin, they really showed you a lot of elements with this game. And like, it's going to be a game, that punishes you, okay? It's going to be a hard game. I am not good at hard games. I'm not good at FromSoft games. I'm not good at Ninja Gaiden or any of these, any of these kind of games. So do I expect to get very far in it? No, but the game rings out as like several different things. Like, it definitely has that Ghost of Tsushima vibe to it. So like, that's one thing. I would actually say it reminds me of even like the earlier Assassin's Creed games in terms of the traversal and getting around and just kind of the time. I mean, I don't know why it reminded me of Italy, but it really reminded me of those like earlier Ezio games. Just kind of go. Maybe it's because of the paraglide or whatever, right? Maybe it's because of that. But from movement in this game, and then a lot of the combat, where whoever was playing it, by the way, kudos to them. I mean, they were fantastic. A lot of parrying, a lot of blocking, a lot of, very strategic hits. Will I do that? Absolutely. I mean, my gameplay is going to look very different, than that. But I think they did a great job, and I was already into it. I'll be honest, okay? Dragon's Dogma 2 is, to me, the game that's, calling my name more. They both released the same day. Dragon's Dogma 2 was also actually shown at this event, and it still looks very, very cool. Rise of the Ronin has definitely risen. Like, I'm more excited about it, actually by a lot, today than I was yesterday, let's say. It's very much gone up in my mind. Dragon's Dogma is still the one to me that I'm going to play first. And that's just, it's a personal thing, personal preference, but I'm going to play both of them. Hopefully we'd be getting both, the same day one. But Rise of the Ronin, might just have to wait. And I mean, honestly, Rise of the Ronin is going to kick my butt. It's going to be a game that probably takes me forever to beat out of difficulty. So yeah, maybe I should just start with Dragon's Dogma 2, a game I'm a bit more comfortable with, and work my way through it. And the final thing I wanted to shout out was the VR stuff. Now, two games that, really stood out. The Metro one, and that's what I wanted to bring in. This is more about conversation, not necessarily the game itself. So what actually has come out since then, there was like a press release with, I believe, Metro Awakening, and they said, this is not actually the next mainline installment. So that's something that I've messed up on, and I just, I didn't see that, or I didn't know that kind of going in. So there is, and we knew this. We knew there was like a new Metro game. I got confused leading in and thought that this was, and I actually think a lot of people got confused and thought this was the same thing. So basically, this is a spinoff. This is a smaller, VR like thing, and it looks really good. Honestly, looks really good. I don't have a PSVR 2, so am I going to play it? No, but it looked good, and I wanted to bring it up just to say, hey, for Metro fans, you get this, and then you also get a literal new installment, that would be, I think, a lot bigger. And if you don't have VR, well, then, you're going to get that next big game in the franchise. So definitely want to throw that out there. And then the next one that came out, that fantasy one, honestly, when I'm recording this, I don't remember the name, and I don't care enough, I guess, to look it up. It doesn't look spectacular, but you know what? It actually looked really cool. It did. There was a lot of like sword fighting, a lot of like perfect blocking. Like there was literally a sword fight against an enemy, and you're moving, or I don't know how to describe it. Like it looks pretty cool, medieval casting spells and blocking with your shield. And I think they threw a shield at some point. I don't know. I just wanted to throw this one in here because if you actually watch my live stream when I'm co-streaming it, I start off by saying, why in God's name did they put this after Metro? Because Metro stomps over. Like, it's not even close how much better Metro looks versus this. And I started off thinking that, where it's like, is this a joke? Like, what are they doing here? The game doesn't look, like newer, but you know what? The mechanics of this game actually are legitimately awesome. And if I had a VR, I gotta be real, I think I'd actually buy this game. So just want to throw it in there as an honorable mention, but just a cool side thing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about any of these games, whether I talked about it or games I didn't mention in this video. Let me know. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.